biggest motivator, and it's a conversation I had with my boss actually. Normally you would think that the motivator is your boss, is your hierarchy. I'm cursed, I think, that the biggest motivator is myself, looking at myself in the mirror in the morning and tying my tie and thinking, what am I going to do today? And when I get back home, thinking, what could I have done differently? So I think the biggest motivator at base is oneself, trying to do one's best, and then obviously trying to understand what is expected. You can be a genius on your own. If nobody understands you, you're an unhappy genius, basically, not recognized by your peers. So it's important to understand what is expected of you, and based on that, motivation, the inner motivation comes out.
Feeling the success of the hotel, not only just through the numbers, obviously, but through, again, the team, seeing the smiles, seeing the guest recognition, sharing that with the staff, and obviously if we also get some other recognition through magazines or publications, then that's obviously is sort of more sometimes seen as more of an official stamp, but that's, from the staff's point of view, that's very important, and that really sort of confirms the hard work they do on a daily basis. So I think that combination is really makes it exciting, and that really motivates me. And then obviously being, to be honest, part of the Peninsula Group, which I know is 9 hotels, but 9 fantastic hotels, all very unique, and a very unique hotel culture, which is I think harder to find nowadays in the industry.
I don't know. I think in this business, if you don't wake up every morning, get out of bed and go to work and like what you do, you have a problem. Now, obviously some days you'll like more than others, but I like what I do, and I'm not bored, and I've been doing it for a while. So when I get up and I go to work, I try to find new ways of doing things. I like the people I work with. I like the interactions I have. I generally enjoy what I do. I love walking around the hotel. I do a lot of it. And I think the people that work in my organization like the people they work with as well. And it makes for a great experience. And we continually try to refine our product. And we refine our product both in terms of our competition and refine our product in terms of what we think makes the best product. And then there's no question there's a huge marketing side to this business that you apply yourself to every day as well.
I think, there's not a day that I don't get up and not look forward to going to work. So I mean, I like to be active. I like to be involved. So I suppose, I suppose a lot of people say money, right? But I don't. In the hotel industry, I don't think it's money that really motivates you.
With other people, it's understanding what is their motivator. Is it recognition? Is it the promotion, which is a form of recognition? Is it the public recognition? Is it private recognition? Is it doing a job well? And that ties in with our previous conversation about passion. Most people in my industry take great pride in what they do, and that is a form of recognition, is when they see that others recognize their talent and they say to themselves, so it's worth it. So I'm a pastry chef, and I've spent 5 years learning how to make a croissant, and I see your smile when you eat it. Those 5 years were worth it. So those are little intangible ones that make a big difference when somebody has put all their soul and all their heart into making something, making a difference. It's the room attendant that you thank on your way out, and you say, thank you for doing my bed, and I realize you didn't tuck it on the left side because that's the way I get up. And that room attendant knows that you picked up on that, and she says to herself, it was worth it because it was recognized. So it's very little things that I think make a difference in our industry.
It's again, its motivation is it's through the successes. Even if it's one small step at a time. It's I've, as we all have, gone up through the ranks, being waiters and things. So from the simple, seeing the guests leave happy and seeing the business be successful, and making sure, very much from the other questions, is very much knowing that you've got a unified team who are happy, and they get rewarded as well, and recognised for the work they do. That's very important.
With 800 people in our organization, there's different motivational. I don't have different techniques for everybody, but you have to employ some different strategy. People are motivated by different things. So you try to figure out what those things are, in terms of if you're motivating the people that are doing the warewashing, or are you motivating the people that are the director of marketing? Are there different motivations? Yes. So it's a broad question, but I try to find out what people's capabilities are and play to their capabilities to get the best out of them. But to try to really understand what their strengths and weaknesses are. In order to do that, you better listen. Am I a great listener? Probably not, but I try to be. Because people will surprise you, and they'll tell you things about themselves that you had no idea about. And I've seen that throughout my career. I trust first impressions, but I trust third impressions too. And I just try to put people in a comfort zone. I am demanding, but once I understand what they can deliver, then I like them to deliver it, and as I say, have fun doing it as well.
By just being myself, right? I mean, by being involved, and I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I think as you go higher in the hierarchy of any organization as a manager, I think sometimes you can tend to forget what impact you can have on a staff member, on an individual, you know? And I think never forgetting that sort of personal touch as a manager, no matter how senior you become. You know, I mean, you have an event today and just popping into the kitchen to say thank you to the chefs. You know, the little things are what really have impact. I can remember as a steward in the kitchens, certain managers, etc., who would come by and, you know, ask a personal question, how are you, or whatever, you know, just show some interest in you as an individual. I think those little things mean a lot to staff, and I think you should never forget what impact you can make personally. So very much as a manager, I'm very much, as I say before, you know, I like to, even though I can't necessarily spend a lot of time in certain areas, I always make sure that at some point I'm visible there, I've been in there to see what's happening or to talk to the staff.